what she said to me clicked. Now, I didn't like my weight. I didn't like being overweight, and it just kind of bothered me. And then I always was told you sing like a girl, you look like a girl, your hands is shaped like a woman's, this, that, and the third. And there would be times I got on full suits and somebody would walk up behind me and say, "Excuse me, miss." The only thing, even with my hair back then, I just did the genuine thing, had the little curl, did my little sideburns, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, well, dang, maybe I should be a girl. It keeps saying, and do you notice the saying is that everybody don't tell the same lie? So I was like, all right. And I had a saying, if you can change it, change it. If you can't, don't worry about it. So I began to change myself. And it started with just here and there dressing up, nighttime or whatever, because I'm still in the church, mind you, and I'm singing in the choirs. I'm the community choir director of the MLK. I'm doing all this, pretty much the stuff I'm doing now, I was doing it back then before it got so real, so for real. And my sophomore year in high school, I decided to make this thing for sure. I told my principal, brought him, the head principal, and my assistant principal. These are the only people besides my grandparents and my aunt who knew my mother had left me alone in this house. My older cousin, she enrolled me into high school. And so I told the principal and the assistant principal that the person they knew as Daniel was not coming back. And so they was like, well, who coming back? Harmony Denise Scott. We were like, well, who is that? Me. So we had a good long talk, and I told him, same thing I'm telling you. I feel that this is who I am, and this is who I should be. I've always been told this is what I look like, this is what I sound like. And so they said, long as you abide by the school rule books for the girls, we have no problem. Because I never was a bad kid in school. I always was there on time, made decent grades. A C is passing, so that's a good grade to me. So that following fall when school started back, and mind you, I played football my freshman year, and teammates were great. But that following fall going back to school my sophomore year, my first day at school as a pre-op transsexual, that means I hadn't had any surgeries or anything, but I'm living my life as a woman. So everybody thought I was a teacher. Nobody knew who I was. There were some that did because they had been out to the club with me or whatnot. And nobody really knew who I was. I can remember one student was like, dang, she fine. And all I could do was laugh. So I was like, only if he knew, because me and this dude played football together. But the word got around, and I'm here to tell you how good God is. He still kept his hand on me. And he said, I will preserve you in your error. The things that you hear people go through, most homosexuals and transgender, gay bashing and all that, I never experienced that outside of my own bloodline, should I say, of my family. I never experienced that at all. Now, of course, you know how grandparents and a few other family members could be. You're wrong. You're going to hell, all this, that, and the third. So I learned early that the Bible says I got to love you, but I can love you from a distance. So,
amen.
Again, I've been on my own for a long time, and I just kind of pushed myself back to them, and then I gravitated toward another type of family. There were people who were like me, took me in, were very nice, and then not even just people who were like me, but just people in general, because I believe this, hey, what you do is how you do it. And I carried myself very well. My adopted mother, she told me, she says, because she came along later on about 16, and she just kind of took me under her wing. She still at the time didn't know my mother was gone. I didn't let her know that until I was like 18, 2 years later. But I was still kind of limboing a little bit there, and so she says, you need to pick one. And I said, what you mean? She said, you're going to be a man, be the best man you can be. If you're going to be a woman, be the best woman you can be. So I really took that to heart. And so she thought that I was going to come back and just give it all up. But I made some phone calls, and I started hormones at the age of 17. I was taking birth control pills so they continued to start to reshape my body. I mean, soft skin, hips started to come out because they do adverse effect on men than they do women. And then I got a hold of my my childhood doctor in Oklahoma City. After I met with an endocrinologist, which is a hormone doctor, we talked. We had our little session. He said I was good. Did my thyroid check. He said he saw I wasn't crazy, that this is really what I wanted to do. He gave me a clean bill and gave me a letter letting me know that all is well. So I started taking the Depo estradiol, and that was taking 1.5 milliliters every 14 days. And it was very serious to me to look the part and be the part at all times. I had a mindset that you couldn't tell me I was no woman. Yeah, all that biological stuff y'all the ladies like to talk about. But half of y'all got all that and still ain't no woman. But to go on a little further past all that, I graduated high school as a transgender. They allowed me to, they called me by my new name, got the diploma and everything. Life was really good. Things were hard relationship-wise. Fast forward a little bit, I got custody of my younger siblings 2004. And when I tell you that took a really different type of change, because now I have these 3 younger siblings, 14, 12, and 2, that I have to look after while I'm going through this process.